What is up, guys? Silver Warrior here, and today I want to talk about once again, silver price manipulation. And I did recently have a video about how it's evident. I've talked about it in the past, mentioned it before many times. Everyone who invests in silver has heard of manipulation. Either they themselves theorize about it, or they simply heard other people be like, yeah, the markets are being manipulated, But whoever you are, you've heard about manipulation. I mean, that's just kind of a big thing, right? So, in this video I wanted to discuss briefly why, at least for us silver stackers, price manipulation is a good thing. And you might be thinking, this is the most, ridiculous statement I've ever heard in my life, because manipulation keeps silver prices low, which means that, basically people don't realize the true value of silver, and therefore they're not willing to buy it. So how is this helping anybody? Manipulation, the only people it helps is the super rich. And yes, it does greatly benefit the super rich people, but the way it benefits silver stackers is it keeps silver affordable for us as well. Think about it this way. You ever see those silver stacks on YouTube where it's 800 ounces, right? I mean, that's not even close to the biggest stack, but just the ones that are around 1,000 ounces or something. They're not considered insanely huge stacks. But if anyone ever went on YouTube and had 1,000-ounce stack of gold, people would probably, poop themselves over that. People would be dying. They'd be like, 1,000 ounces of gold, that's over $1 million. It's like 1.3 mil. How did you afford that? That's insane. But no one really cares about a 1,000-ounce silver stack. But let's say silver were left to float freely, right? Guess what? Nobody who ever wanted a silver stack anymore could ever build a 1,000-ounce stack. So a stack that right now we consider to be very impressive. I mean, 1,000 ounces is a very impressive stack, but not unachievable, would be considered something that is unheard of. Nobody on YouTube, as of now, has a silver stack that's worth $1 million. Okay? You look at even the biggest silver stacks, you look at someone like Silver Slacker, right? His stack would probably, it'd be worth probably around, maybe $500,000, right? At the most. I mean, it's around 7,000 ounces in melt value. That's 130K. But I mean, I doubt it even go up to $500,000. But a lot of the pieces he has are extremely high premium, so maybe it'd be worth $500,000. But there's no way his silver stack would be worth $1 million. And so to even have a stack that was way smaller than his, with the silver prices being way higher, would be impossible thing to do. So this would actually turn people off the silver, because silver would not be an entry-level investment like it is right now. A lot of people who are getting into silver do so because they think, what, I can buy a 10-ounce silver bar, and it's not too risky. I mean, I could just have it, and whatever, I'm not really too worried about having a 10-ounce silver bar. It's not like, a 10-ounce gold bar, where if I have that, this gold better go up or else I'm going to be screwed. 10-ounce silver bar is just something I can throw aside and not think about it. And that's what makes silver very promising for a lot of people. Just the fact that you can afford a lot more of it. So for one, if you have, a 1,000-ounce stack, if silver goes up by $1 an ounce, you can still, you'd see a little bit of a decent return on it. And that's just something that doesn't happen with gold. Because the thing is that simply, with the ratios that we have, the price ratios, whenever silver and gold prices explode, the ratios reveal themselves a little bit more. The availability ratio starts to reveal itself a bit more, simply due to the fact that whenever prices do explode, the ratio actually goes down a lot. You ever notice how gold will go up to $2,000 an ounce and silver will go up to $50 an ounce, let's say? That's a 1 to 40 ratio, which is way different than the price ratio we experience right now. So overall, there is more profit to be made from silver. But if silver were a much higher value metal, the same might not be said. The manipulation of the price and the fact that silver is manipulated harder than gold is allows us to afford more silver than we can gold, and when prices do explode, make a lot more money off of silver than we could right now. That ratio, the availability to price ratio gap, wouldn't exist if prices weren't manipulated, because the true values of each metal would expose itself, and the ratio would never change. I mean, it might a little bit as prices went up and down, but the prices would go with each other. It wouldn't be unnatural like it is right now. And for the people who realize that the manipulation is there, the 1% of people who are smart enough to see it, all of a sudden wouldn't be able to, make any money off of that anymore. One of the biggest secrets of silver stacking wouldn't be a thing anymore because of the fact that prices would be floating freely. And also, with the manipulation, the biggest thing about it is that, not only does it make silver affordable, but for those who are willing to hold on to their silver for 40 or 50 years, those who can afford to do so, we could potentially see massive profits because silver has been, allowed to trade at such a low price that, a lot of people are able to afford it. It's not like, with gold where let's say people are able to afford it, so there's a lot more of it available overall, due to the fact that the availability ratio is higher than the price ratio on them, so less gold can be bought up with the same amount of money as silver can compared to how much is available. A lot more silver is bought by people, and so when time goes on, silver was going to run out before gold is, and people have said before, silver could very well go extinct and be worth an insane amount of money, so much that an amount of money that you can't even fathom silver being worth. When people only have very small amounts of it because people who are willing to hold on to it for 20 years have already sold, the people who are willing to hold on to it for 30 years have already sold, and silver's already eaten up by industry, what's going to happen is eventually the very few of us who are willing to hold on to that silver for 50 years are going to see some massive profits on it. But even if that doesn't happen, because that's more of a theory type thing, it definitely is proven that silver is manipulated. The manipulation is very evident, and there is a lot of money to be made off of that. So as long as you know what you're doing, you will, very well profit off of it in the near future. And I do hope you enjoyed this video. That is it for this one. Peace, love, and much respect.